The U.S. Supreme Court has temporarily restored full access to the abortion pill mifepristone. Now, the move puts restrictions imposed by a lower court on hold until at least Wednesday. That gives the justices time to consider issues raised by abortion opponents who challenge the drug's safety. Now, mifepristone has been on the market for more than 2 decades. And also this week, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signing into law that state's ban on abortions after 6 weeks of pregnancy in most cases. So how will this impact Republicans in the 2024 election? I do want to welcome in Niall Stanage, White House columnist with our partner, The Hill. Niall, thanks for being here.
Good to be here, Natasha.
So, Niall, this is a tricky thing, and help us understand why. Because, first of all, opponents of this Florida ban say that 6 weeks is before most women know that they're pregnant. But let's talk about the latest numbers, because the latest ones we have, late February from the University of North Florida, it shows that 75% of Floridians oppose a 6-week ban, and that includes 61% of Republicans. So do you think Ron DeSantis signing the 6-week abortion ban into law will hurt his chances ultimately of running against Mr. Trump for the GOP nomination?
It may not hurt his chances for the GOP nomination, but it will almost certainly hurt his chances if he were to become the nominee and would be fighting a national election. And that's what a number of Republicans who spoke to me for a story that will appear tomorrow were worried about. They're worried that the Republican Party, not just Governor DeSantis, is painting itself into a corner on this abortion issue. It is following the imperatives of the most fervently pro-life or anti-abortion people within the party, but in the process becoming out of step with the general public. And that is proven, I think, by the poll that you just cited and by a number of other polls that show, for example, that striking down Roe versus Wade was actually a rather unpopular decision.
Was this a lose-lose for Governor Ron DeSantis? And why would he sign if this would have such a potentially large impact on his eventual campaign and his run?
Partly because I think he wants to really stay as strong as he can with the Conservative base. We all expect Governor DeSantis to declare a presidential candidacy, perhaps in the next month or two. If that happens, that first priority will be trying to get past former President Trump for the Republican nomination. That is a battle in which going as hard right as you can is generally seen as the best tactic. That, though, does leave him very, very vulnerable. If he, as I say, were to become the nominee, how do you then row back from it? I mean, it's pretty crystal clear that he has backed this measure, which is a pretty unpopular measure with the general population.
Okay, and as you mentioned, Roe versus Wade, such a polarizing topic for voters. Were lessons learned for the GOP from the midterms? And as you said, could they be boxing themselves into a corner in 2024?
The question of whether there are lessons learned is a really vital one, and some more moderate people in the Republican Party worry that the answer is no. It's not only that Republicans did more poorly than expected in the midterms, Natasha. It's that in those midterms, voters said abortion was a key issue for them, and those voters broke very heavily for the Democratic Party. And we've also seen a number of other measures. Just a few weeks ago, the Wisconsin Supreme Court race, a very expensive race, was won by a Liberal candidate in a race in which the abortion issue was central. There have been a number of ballot measures where the pro-choice or Liberal side has won, even in Conservative states. So there's this growing body of evidence that the abortion issue is a very bad one for the Republican Party.
Okay. Niall Stanage, thank you so much for the insight and time.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.